everybody! So on this week's episode of Teen Wolf, Scott's pack rescued Lydia. Well, they attempted to rescue her and really failed. Let's talk about episode 15 of season 5, Amplification. The episode starts off with the Beast being chased by the cops as well as Scott and Styles, and then it heads off to the hospital. Seriously, that was an oh shit moment, especially when Mama McCall sees everyone clearing out and she goes and approaches the elevator. It opens and she's like, oh shit, I gotta get out of here because the Beast is right there. I don't know why she didn't get attacked right then and how she was able to run off, because honestly, this Beast seems to be just kill and ask questions later, or just kill and don't ask questions later. Scott in this episode finds some footprints from the Beast and sees them transform slowly into shoe prints. At this time, he also finds Parrish at the tail end of his fight with the Beast. He survives. He's pretty banged up, but he is the only one that seems to really be able to go up against this Beast. It's something about being a hellhound. Some other things with Scott in this episode are that we see him with Deaton and Styles, and Deaton goes and tells him that what Dr. Valak is doing to Lydia is going to kill her. He has been experimenting on other supernatural creatures and he has killed them in the past, and she will be dead very soon, very, very dead, if they don't stop Valak from what he's going to do to Lydia, which we already know by now. It's too late, but hopefully there's some way to save Lydia, because it's Lydia and she's my favorite character besides Styles. In this episode, Styles and the pack are all discussing at the beginning how to get Lydia out of Eichenhaus, and they come up with this plan to cause a brownout. Not a blackout, a brownout. It's gonna cause a reboot of the system so that the key card that Styles swiped will briefly, for a short amount of time, work to get them into where Lydia's at. They have to use Kira for this though, and when Kira is trying to learn how to do this, she goes through tons of light bulbs breaking and that stab Malia in the forehead when they explode, and she's just not very successful. When they finally come to the moment when things are going down, Malia's able to tell her, we're trying to save Lydia, and that just seems to be the right push she needs, and she's able to cause the brownout and the system reboot. How do Scott, Styles, and Liam get into Eichenhaus? Well, it's good. It's real good and very entertaining. Parrish sneaks them in body bags among a bunch of other dead bodies. It was pretty funny. And when they come out of the body bags, they're just like, we're never doing that again. Lydia basically in this episode tries to warn Styles away when he comes to save her, tells him that they're all gonna die if they don't leave, and as Styles is trying to decide what to do, he has to hide because Dr. Valak comes into the room, and then shortly after, Theo and his gang show up to try and get Lydia, and it's all kinds of crazy. Theo and them, they don't really have a need for Lydia besides the fact that for some reason they're trying to draw Parrish out, which they do, the hellhound side of him, and Parrish arrives to protect Lydia. I really want to learn more about the bond between a banshee and a hellhound, because there seems to be a really big component there besides the whole death relation. So when Scott, Styles, and Liam go to try and use the key card during the system reboot, the key card entry lock is gone off the door. Scott and Liam have to really werewolf up and break down that door. Now, once it's broken down, they can't do anything but let Styles run along to help Lydia like he's been trying to do. And this kind of puts them in a bit of a sticky situation, because as they are trying to break through this whole wall of mountain ash, the guards show up, start electrocuting them, and Scott goes full alpha, rallying his pack with a roar. We see his eyes go red, Liam's eyes go gold, and Malia's eyes go blue, and things start getting real. Another thing that goes down in this episode with Dr. Valak is that he puts one of those Dread Doctor helmets, because apparently he has one of those lying around. He puts it on top of one of the Icon House employees. You know, that bitchy lady that's been walking around and saying that Lydia's acting and all this stuff? Yeah, her. I don't know what the significance of that is and what it does, but I thought that was a very intriguing scene. Now, towards the end of the episode, we all of a sudden are shown Hayden, and she is guarding Deucalion. And Deucalion is trying to talk her into releasing him. He starts giving her all this information that she doesn't ask for, but I think it's really getting to her. He tells her that the talons that Theo has, that he got from the Desert Wolf, that Theo wants to use them to take the power of the beast for himself, and that if he tries to do this, he's gonna die. I don't know what she's gonna do with this information, but it's gonna be cool to see what happens. At the end of the episode, we see Lydia's mom trying to get into Icon House to save Lydia as well. And when she's trying to get in, it goes into lockdown. I don't know if it was because of Kira's power starting to go berserk, or if it was an automatic lockdown when all the violence started hitting the fan, or what. But it's really bad because we've got two opposing packs stuck in a building together with no way out. So things are definitely gonna get very bloody. All in all, I really enjoyed this episode, and even though I don't like the whole cliffhanger factor at the end, it's gonna be cool to see what happens in episode 16. I hope y'all enjoyed this recap and review. Continue to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye, guys.